Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 29th of August. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. As ever, I'm going to give you the major themes to look out for, but please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you in forensic detail each of the 12 zodiac signs from Aries through till Pisces. This week begins with the Sun continuing its journey in the sign of Virgo. Virgo energy asks us to be more discriminating, to focus on the details of our situation. If we can make some small adjustments, that can add up to something more substantive. Anything to do with our physical health, the organisation of our situation, or even our jobs and pets, believe it or not, with the 6th house, can take on extra significance. But of course, the new moon, which occurred last week, is still reverberating around the heavens, and that's squared up with Mars, and that square with Mars does continue into this week. Now, this can add an extra dimension to this energy of Virgo, because Mars is in the sign of Gemini, which gives it a passionate desire to express ideas or to be more physically active. And the two together can create a kind of frenetic extra energy, and that makes it difficult to really focus ourselves and get grounded. So the key this week is really deciding on what the priorities are, narrowing our focus, and really putting our energy into achieving the significant things that we need to do first. But it's possible that someone could be a bit picky or irritable or overcritical, and we just need to be conscious of that. Now, it's the case that Mars actually forges a brilliant angle to Mercury, now in the sign of Libra, urging us to try to listen more attentively to others, be a bit more detached if people see things in a different way. But this angle to Mars suggests that if there are people that we can collaborate with and work on those details with, but we have some shared ideals that we can, or interests that we can collaborate around, then progress can be made. Mercury is also opposite Jupiter, which is quite a buoyant influence, but it's also important to not promise anything we can't realistically deliver, because Mercury is the communication, Jupiter's the optimism. Now, as we draw to the end of the week, there is on Saturday a quarter moon, and this quarter moon occurs in the sign of Sagittarius, which of course very much enjoys freedom, space and independence. So that need to focus on those responsibilities and obligations that comes from the Sun in Virgo is challenged somewhat. So even more reason not to readily agree or volunteer to anything if we don't have the available free time. Also, the square between Saturn and Uranus, which dominated year 2021 and the start of this year, they are inching closer together. They're going to be within 1 degree between the 2nd and also the 12th of October, but just be aware that the frustration that this particular aspect generated last year is likely to come much more to the fore. Remember, Saturn's about the structure but also the limitation. Uranus is about the truth but also the restlessness and rebelliousness, and therefore they are very conflicting energies. Now, please stay with me for your in-depth zodiac sign forecast, but if you would like to understand what year 2023 will hold for you and get the rest of 2022 free, plus your life roadmap, your character analysis, which can guide your moves, and get 30% off, please see my link beneath this video. And if you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. If you've already done so, thank you so much for your continued support. So Sagittarius, your week commencing the 29th of August scope sees a wonderful opportunity for you to reach for the stars when it comes to your ambitions and talents. It's just that with Mars in your opposite sign, you could be so assertive that when it comes to a more structured environment, say if you work in a bigger business or an organisation where there's quite a set way that things work, your desire to crack on and really push the boundaries could put a few noses out of joint. Having said that, however, your talent for cooperation is emphasised by Mercury, linking brilliantly with your ruler Jupiter, and in a very constructive link with Mars. So where you feel there are people you can relate to, who understand where you're coming from, then I think the thrust of your energy can actually be very inspirational. Now, when it comes to the romantic domain, however, Venus is crunched on Monday by Saturn and the rather highly strung energies of Uranus. So things could be a little bit tense, but because Venus is in house 9, perhaps your desires to tease into the open the truth of one particular situation, I just wouldn't try too hard. Later this week, the quarter moon in your sign on Saturday, again, it's a little bit of a balance between your needs and what you want to achieve and what's expected of you, because of obviously the first 10th house angle can be a little bit volatile. But all in all, a week when you can make significant progress, but I think you do need to set some targets which don't stretch you around too much. So narrow your focus, work on the things that are absolutely essential, prioritize, and just be mindful if there is some kind of set way of doing things that you're expected to conform to, because that could be where there are a few scrapes.